Hello, thanks for clicking. I'm Mark Morse. Today I'm going to be reviewing the record Rock and Roll Star that was recently released in 2024 by David Bowie. This song has 14 tracks on it from around the time he was recording Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So there's some demos, outtakes, things that didn't make the album. There is a box set for Rock and Roll Star that 5 CDs. It costs anywhere between $130 $140. I did not get that. I'm happy with this single LP, which takes tracks directly from that collection. I'm not Rockefeller. Does anybody reference Rockefeller anymore? I'm not Jeff Bezos. Anyway, I'm going to go through this record track by track. The real beauty of this record is it really gives you an idea how Ziggy Stardust came together and how they decided what to include and what not to include. To me, that's the most exciting thing about this. It's kind of a look around the Ziggy Stardust phenomenon. If you are a Bowie fan, and I imagine you are if you're watching this video, I'm going to tell you right now, you'll probably want this record in your collection. But let me go over this song by song. It starts off with, well, let me show you the record first. It's very glammy, very reflective. Oh, look, there's two Mark Morses. It's very reflective. So I purposely didn't use as much lighting today because I knew it was going to be hard to see. The record has the little Bowie thing on there, kind of a silver emblem. Just a beautiful little glam rock record here. And here's the song listing, if you can see that. But let me go over these songs. I wrote a lot of notes here, so I'm going to be referring to them a lot. Side one starts off with a different version of Hang On to Yourself. And what happens with this song is it comes on and you're like, oh, I know this song, and you're all tempted to sing along with it. But if you do, you're going to be lost. The lyrics are different. A lot of things are different in this mix. It's a very interesting take, and this is one of the songs where you can see how it evolved into the final product. It's an interesting mix. Star, similar thing. You want to sing along. The lyrics are changed. One thing that struck me in this is there's kind of a violent lyric that starts off towards the beginning of the song, and it's like, someone has to kill the man, someone has to kill the man, which seemed unusual to hear in that song. Lady Stardust is next. What I love about this, and this is the one that truly struck me the most when I first listened through this album, is David Bowie's vocals. You can tell he hasn't quite decided on how he's going to approach the song. The song almost sounds like a narration. It's very interesting, and I'm glad it's included. Shadow Man, which was included on Toy, gets aired in its original Ziggy version. A demo can be heard on Divine Symmetry. This is some stuff I picked up on the internet. Divine Symmetry I'll talk about towards the very end of this, but Divine Symmetry also had a single album and a box set. It looks like a lot of these songs in different versions appeared on that box set of Divine Symmetry. But Shadow Man is a song that I was not familiar with before. It's a very sweet, melancholy song. I really like it. I'm glad it's on here. Holy Holy, which was originally found on Width of a Circle. The note I have down here, does anyone else hear just a hint of Panic in Detroit in this song? Um, not not a big standout song for me, but at least interesting. And then side one ends up with Bowie's cover of Chuck Berry's song Around and Around. Bowie shortens it to Round and Round. And at first I was like, I don't really want a Bowie cover song on this record. I want to hear all the Bowie stuff. But when I read more about it, I found it more interesting, and now I'm kind of glad it's on there. It's a great song. He does a great version of it. But let me read what I found on, I think I got this off the Bowie Bible, which is a great resource. But if you go there, make sure all your ad blockers are on. The pop-ups are insane on that page. This song, Round and Round, was left off Ziggy Stardust and replaced by the late edition of Starman. Good choice. Interestingly, Round and Round was an early contender for the album title. So instead of the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, we could have had a very meh title like Round and Round. And this is what Bowie said. Round and Round would have been the perfect kind of number that Ziggy would have done on stage. I think probably what happened is that it was a jam. We jammed round and round for old time's sake in the studio, and the enthusiasm of the jam probably waned after we heard the tracks a few times, and we replaced it with a thing called Starman. So I'm kind of glad this is on here, just for that little bit of history, and that ends out side one. Side two to me is the most interesting, and this is why I think the album is worthwhile to have in your collection if you're a Bowie fan. It starts off with Velvet Goldmine. This is another song I was unfamiliar with when I got this record, but I was very satisfied with this song. I really like it. It has some provocative lyrics. It was left off the album and eventually released as a B-side of the UK re-release of Space Oddity in 1975. So it was nice for me to hear this. A lot of these songs on this side I was not familiar with, and maybe the next song is Looking for a Friend, another track I was unfamiliar with, but it's a wonderfully catchy tune. One of my favorites on the record. It's Gonna Rain Again. A newly unearthed outtake from the Ziggy sessions. It has, when you hear it, you immediately like, that sounds like Bo Diddley. It really does have this Bo Diddley beat in it. But if you listen to Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed on the Space Oddity album, to me there's some hints of that in this song. But it's a good song. And the next song is Sweet Head. Bowie seems to have a fascination with oral sex. A lot of songs allude to it. The reason for its initial unreleased status is likely to have been the lyrical content, with references to oral sex, violence, a list of things I'm pretty sure I can't say on YouTube and still have my video shown. Gosh, I can't say any of that. Eventually released on Ziggy Stardust's 30th anniversary album. Of course, I love this song. I really love this song. This is a great song. I'm glad it's included. The next song is Starman. It's the Top of the Pops mix. It's an okay mix. It's not spectacular. There's nothing earth-shattering here. It's a nice song. It sounds just as good. Maybe not as inspired as what you're used to, but it's an okay version. It's John, I'm Only Dancing. This is the alternative Trident Studios version. All I have down here is an interesting alternative mix of a Bowie classic. So again, nothing that really struck me with this song. It's nice to hear, not earth-shattering. And then it ends with the Who cover of I Can't Explain Hoarding. And for my own notes, I wrote a fun cover, but I would have preferred a Bowie original track instead. So to me, to have Round and Round, the Chuck Berry song, and I Can't Explain on here, I would rather have all Bowie originals on here. Again, Round and Round, just for the history of it, I don't mind it on here. But you know, I have that I Can't Explain on Pinups. This is a nice rollicking version, but I would prefer a Bowie original track for this. But my overall assessment is it's a very worthwhile buy. The single record. I think I got this from the David Bowie store for $24, and it sells similarly on Amazon for about the same amount. Before I go, I want to talk about David Bowie, A Divine Symmetry. So, this is like the Hunky Dory, same kind of thing that they've just done with Ziggy Stardust, but with Hunky Dory. To me, this is probably the superior record. So I would actually get this before the Rock and Roll Star. Again, this is the single LP. They did a box set, came out with this. My friend Chris Reno gave this to me. If Chris Reno, you're out there, thank you for this. I still listen to this, and I love it. One more thing before I go. I want to thank my YouTube friend Vinyl Shawn. He's showcasing his albums in alphabetical order on his page, but a recent one, he was promoting my book, Blue Rooms. You can pick that up on Amazon.com. And I just wanted to thank you, Shawn, for all your enthusiasm. Other people picked this book up too that I appreciate. I also have, my first book was actually a book called 30 Days, 30 Poems with a Foreword by Todd Colby, the singer and songwriter for Drunken Boat. He has several of his own books published. But that's another book. I'm going to link to these things just in case, because I've found a couple people showing interest in this, so I thought I would do that for my own edification. So thank you guys for taking interest, for watching this video. Thank you, Shawn. And I'll see you all soon.